I was alone in a 12-story office building. Every floor was empty. Every door was locked. But someone, or something, was walking the hallways with me. This happened to me 3 years ago when I worked as a night security guard in downtown Seattle. I thought the job would be easy. Just walk the floors, check the locks, make sure everything's secure. But on my third night, I realized I wasn't alone. And what I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. My name's not important. But what happened to me is, I was 24 years old, fresh out of college, and desperately needed money. When I saw the job posting for a night security guard, I jumped on it. The pay was decent, and the job seemed simple enough. The building was a typical corporate office tower, 12 floors of accountants, lawyers, and IT companies. During the day, hundreds of people worked there. But at night, completely empty. Just me, my flashlight, and a checklist of doors to lock. My supervisor, an older guy named Frank, trained me for 2 nights. He showed me the routine. Start at the top floor, work your way down, check every door, every window, every emergency exit. Takes about 2 hours. Then you sit in the lobby, watch the cameras, and do it all over again at 3 a.m. Frank was nervous. I noticed it on the second night. He kept looking over his shoulder. When I asked him why he was leaving this job, he just said, "Family reasons," and changed the subject. I should have pressed him. I should have asked more questions. But I didn't. And on my third night, I was alone. It started small, little things I tried to ignore. On the 8th floor, I heard footsteps, not mine. These were distant, echoing from somewhere down the hallway. I stopped walking. The footsteps stopped too. I called out, "Hello?" Building security. Nothing. Complete silence. I checked every office on that floor. Every single one was locked, empty, dark. I convinced myself it was just the building settling. Old buildings make noise, right? But then, on the 6th floor, I heard it again. Footsteps. This time, they were closer, and they were keeping pace with mine. When I walked, they walked. When I stopped, they stopped. My heart was pounding. I spun around, shining my flashlight down the hallway. Nothing. Just rows of empty cubicles and dark office doors. I called out again. "If someone's here, you need to identify yourself." My voice echoed back to me. That was all. I tried to stay calm. Maybe it was a homeless person who snuck in. Maybe it was another security guard I didn't know about. Maybe it was nothing. But then I reached the 4th floor. And that's when I saw the elevator. I always took the stairs. That was protocol. But as I passed the elevator bank on the 4th floor, I noticed something. The elevator was moving. I could see the floor numbers lighting up above the doors. 12, 11, 10, 9. It was coming down. But I was the only person in the building. I had locked every entrance myself. The front doors were chained. The emergency exits were sealed. No one could have gotten in. The elevator kept descending. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. It stopped on my floor. The doors opened. It was empty. I stood there, frozen, staring into that empty elevator car. The fluorescent lights inside flickered. And then, I heard breathing. Slow, deep breathing. Not from the elevator, from behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Just the dark hallway. But the breathing continued. It was close. Too close. Right next to my ear. I ran. I don't care how it sounds. I ran to the stairwell and didn't stop until I reached the lobby. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my flashlight. I locked myself in the security office and stared at the cameras. Nothing. Every camera showed empty floors, empty hallways. No movement anywhere. But I could still hear it. Through the walls, through the door. Footsteps. Walking. Searching. I called Frank. It was 1:30 in the morning, but I didn't care. He answered on the fourth ring. His voice was groggy. "What's wrong?" "There's someone in the building," I said. "I can hear them. The elevator's moving. I'm not alone." There was a long silence. Then Frank said something that made my blood run cold. "Listen to me very carefully. Do not go back upstairs. Stay in the lobby. Lock the security office door. And whatever you do, do not look at the 9th floor camera." "What?" "Why not?" "Just don't." "I'm calling the police. Stay where you are." But I couldn't help it. I looked. I switched the monitor to the 9th floor camera. At first I didn't see anything. Just the usual empty hallway. Dark office doors. Nothing unusual. And then it moved. At the far end of the hallway, barely visible in the dim emergency lighting, was a figure. Tall. Motionless. Standing in the middle of the hallway. Facing the camera. Facing me. It didn't move. It just stood there. Watching. Teleported. 7th floor. It was there. 6th floor. There. 5th floor. Getting closer. 4th floor. The screen went to static. And then I heard it. Right outside the security office door. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Coming closer. Closer. The door handle turned. I had locked it. I was sure I had locked it. But the handle kept turning. Slowly. Deliberately. I grabbed my phone and ran. I didn't care about the job, about the paycheck, about anything. I unlocked the front doors and ran out into the street. I didn't stop running until I was 3 blocks away. The police arrived 20 minutes later. They searched the entire building. Every floor, every office, every closet. They found nothing. No signs of forced entry, no footprints, no evidence that anyone had been there except me. The cameras showed nothing but empty hallways. Even the 9th floor footage showed nothing unusual, just an empty hallway. The officers thought I was crazy or on drugs. They made me take a breathalyzer test. I passed. They asked if I had a history of mental illness. I didn't. Frank quit that same night. He texted me, "You saw it too. Get out while you can." When I tried to call him back, his number was disconnected. I did some research. The building was constructed in 1987. In 1991, a man named David Calloway worked on the 9th floor as an accountant. One night, he stayed late to finish a project. The next morning, they found him in the stairwell. Dead. Heart attack. He was 34 years old. But here's the thing. The security footage from that night showed something strange. David's body was found in the stairwell between the 4th and 5th floors, but the camera showed him walking. On the 9th floor, on the 8th, the 7th, the 6th, walking down, floor by floor, even after he was dead. I quit the next day. I never went back to that building. But sometimes, late at night, I still think about it. About the footsteps. About the figure in the hallway. About the elevator doors opening to an empty car. The building is still there. Still operating. They hired a new night security guard. I heard he lasted 2 weeks. If you ever work a night shift in an empty building, and you hear footsteps that aren't yours, don't ignore them. Don't investigate. Just leave. Because sometimes the dead don't know they're supposed to stay gone. If this story gave you chills, let me know in the comments. Have you ever worked a night shift and experienced something you couldn't explain? Share your story below. Don't forget to subscribe for more true horror stories. And remember, not all empty buildings are truly empty. Thanks for watching. Sleep tight.